So what I wanted to say is that I think that Biden should revisit the idea of declaring a no-fly zone over Ukraine for two reasons. So one is obviously it would give him a way to go around the Republican obstruction in Congress for funding Ukraine. That's a big one. But two, I believe that if we had a no-fly zone over Ukraine, it would force America to cross swords with Russia, which would make it really tough for our pro-fascist, autocratic MAGA types to continue openly supporting Ukraine.
You mean openly supporting Putin?
Or, yes, openly supporting Putin. It'd almost be the same thing that FDR did, because we had a very pro-fascist movement back in FDR's day, and then once we got involved in World War II, it forced our pro-fascist movement to cross swords with Germany's pro-fascist movement.
Right, and they had to shut up and get quiet. But I don't think that starting World War III is the best way to shut up the right-wingers in America that way, respectfully.
You know, we're getting to a point where we need to distract them with something, because if we don't stop them from looking inwardly at an enemy with them looking outwardly at an enemy, we could be in real trouble in this next election cycle. Yeah. And I know how draconian that sounds. I get it. Yeah. But these are desperate times.
Well, there is a long history of people, I mean, the Roman Empire is probably the most famous collection of stories of leaders doing this, but Edward Gibbon's, I think, The Rise and Fall of the History of the Roman Empire, I forget the title. But that he talks about when things would go bad in the country, the emperor would figure, the Caesar would figure out, some external war to have, come up with some new enemy and go off and conquer some new land. There's an argument made that the King of France was all gung-ho for the Crusades, in the 1100s because of domestic problems. And that was a way of getting the malcontents out of France and off to the Middle East. I understand your logic.
I believe FDR did the same thing, in a sense.
I think events kind of did that for him. I mean, I realize there are Republicans who think he provoked Pearl Harbor, but I'm skeptical.
But, I mean, Trump was always good at white rabbits, and in a sense, this would be one giant white rabbit. I mean, if America had to concentrate on an external enemy, I think we could maybe bury our pro-fascist movement for another 80 years. Yeah,
or it could be a black swan. I mean, keep in mind, Russia has as many nuclear weapons as we have for all practical purposes.
Right.
And right. Putin, if Putin's backed into a corner, or if he thinks he's on the verge of death and he's trying to leave some great legacy for himself or something like that, God only knows what could happen.
I don't disagree with you, but on the other hand, if he's allowed to swallow up Ukraine, God only knows what happens then.
That's a good point. Alan, thank you. We're not going to resolve this.
But, no, but food for thought.
Yeah,
food
indeed. Good conversation. Thank you very much.